Okay, so now we're going to focus on creating a Gmail account. And this is important if you are setting up a brand new network that you don't have any existing Google properties that you want to include. Okay, so for example, if you're starting from scratch and you don't have a Google Plus page or a Google Plus local page or a YouTube channel or whatever that you already want to use, then this is going to be where you're going to want to set up a brand new account from scratch. If you do have an account, a Google properties that you want to use within a network, then it's not necessary to set up a new Google account because you can just use whatever existing properties you have. But typically what I do is for every network I build, I create a brand new Google account that will be attached to that particular network, even if I'm going to use another Google property in that network. Okay, it's just that way I have a cohesive persona for each network. One persona that has accounts across all the major sites that we're going to use in our networks, because it just looks more real. So for example, if I were to create a new network for this Vernon Dunn, and but I already had an existing Google Plus page that I wanted to use, or a YouTube channel that I wanted to use, so I didn't create a Google account, then I would have a Vernon Dunn account across all the other properties in the network except for Google, which would look weird to Google, right? Because Google is, everybody has a Gmail account, right? So that's why I still go ahead and create a Google account, even if I'm going to be using another Google property in that network, if that makes sense. So I just recommend following the training, going through and creating the new Google account, and you'll see how some of these pieces fit together in later videos. But that said, now that we've got the Outlook recovery email created, or you could have used webmail, it's up to you, we're going to go ahead and set up the Gmail account. So we're going to come over here and we're at Google. If you want to just go straight to like a Gmail screen, you can just type Gmail, click on the first link, and it's going to take you to a sign-in screen or a create account. Okay, so let's go ahead and click create account. And now we're going to use the exact same details that we used before, okay, for Vernon Dunn. But in this case, I'm just going to start typing them in. And you see how in the Firefox setup, how I said to save the form, leave the form, save form and password data or whatever, form fill data. And that's because you see how that just makes it easier, because you can just double click and it will fill things in for you, okay? And that comes in handy as we create the rest of the accounts. But for the choose username, I'm going to use the same email extension that the beginning part of the email. So it's going to be Vernon, I think it was E Dunn. Let's go back over and check the name. Vernon E Dunn, yep. At Gmail, see if that's available. If it's not, it should tell you. So for create password, we're going to use just the same password that we used for everything else. So I'm going to come over here and just copy this. I'm going to put that in and then put that in there. Birthday, the same thing, I believe was April 27th, 1967. Mail. Mobile phone. Now, again, the mobile phone, you can sometimes skip this. You can try skipping it every time. Sometimes it's going to trigger a verification via phone. Sometimes it's not. In this case, I have the burner phone that I had set up, the burner app phone number. So essentially it's a virtual phone number that we can use. So I'm going to go ahead and pause for a minute and get my webcam fired up, and we're going to go through that process just in case it triggers verification. Okay, so here I'm going to enter my burner app phone number in. Okay, and in my current email address, for the current email address field, I'm going to put in the Outlook email that we created in the previous video for the recovery email. Prove you're not a robot, just scroll down and try to fill out the CAPTCHA text. In this case, it's North H. I agree to Google's terms of service, and I'm going to click on next step. Now, once again, because I have a clean IP, this did not trigger a phone verification, which is a good thing. So if it does trigger a phone verification, then you just got to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue to Gmail. Now, what I can do though is I can actually bind this. This is something that you can do if you have the phone numbers available. You can try to get away without doing it, but if you want to, you can go ahead and force a verification, which is actually not a bad idea because it makes the account more real. And so to do that, and those of you watching the webcam video right now, I just want to show that the Burner app works, which I'm going to show you here in just a moment as soon as I get to that part. So just bear with me for a moment. The screencast video, you guys, go up here to the top right corner where it says, actually you want to click up here where the name is, like this profile icon, which we haven't added the profile image yet. But if you click on that and you go to My Account, that's going to take you to myaccount.google.com, and you'll see that we can go down to Sign In and Security, and we should be able to find Recovery Phone. Yep, so Sign In and Security, you scroll down and you'll see where it says Recovery Phone, and you'll see Recovery Email, which, by the way, if you go check your Outlook Mail account, you should see an email from Gmail saying to verify your added email address, which let's go ahead and click on that first, and then you click here to verify this request. Guys, it's very important that you verify that recovery email when you first set up your Google account using the recovery email that you set up prior. Again, you can use Outlook or Webmail. Or the next thing you can do, the reason you want to verify it immediately is because that makes your account look real. Okay, so you want to make sure that that's one of the very first things you do. Then, like I said, you can force the phone verification by going to your name or your icon in the top right corner, My Account, then Sign In and Security, and then you'll scroll down and you'll see Recovery Phone, and you'll see there's an icon next to it because it says it hasn't been verified. So if we click that arrow, it's going to bring us back to the sign in screen. We're going to copy the username, or excuse me, the password, and paste that back in and click Sign In. And then it's going to say your recovery phone is used to reach in case we detect unusual activity in your account or you accidentally get locked out. You see how it says recovery phone, and then it says edit. If you click the edit button, you should be able to just click update number and then verify. And when you click verify, this should ping your burner phone. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this up to the webcam for those of you watching the webcam video, and I'm going to go ahead and click the verify button. And it says to make sure everything works, we'll send you an SMS with a verification code, and I'm going to say get code. Okay, now it says we just sent you an SMS with a code. Now if you see on the webcam video, guys, you'll see how it says text from 244 and it says your Goog, and then I'm going to go ahead and click that so you can open it up, and you'll see that here is my verification code. Let's pull it back a little bit, maybe it'll focus better. So there's my verification code from Google, my Google verification code. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and type this in, and this is 676482. And I'm going to click verify. Now it says thank you for verifying your phone. Use this number to alert me of any suspicious activity. I'm going to uncheck that because remember, this is a burner phone. It's a temporary phone number. So I'm just going to uncheck that because there's no sense in it sending text to this phone when it's not going to end up being valid anyways. So now I'm going to click back on the recovery phone button, and you'll see if we scroll back down, the recovery phone has been verified. So this is a good point for me to stop the webcam video. I will also be showing a later date when we set up, in one of the subsequent videos when we set up the YouTube channel, you'll see how it's, depending on if you're going to be streaming videos, live streaming videos, or using Hangouts on Air from the YouTube account, then you're going to want to phone verify the YouTube account using the same phone number. But if you're not going to be live streaming, you don't need to, or doing Hangouts on Air with that YouTube account, then it's unnecessary. You don't need to do that. But we'll cover that in another video. So let me turn off the webcam video. See you guys soon. Okay, those of you on the screencast video, hopefully that wasn't too weird. But I'm trying to simultaneously do a webcam video so you guys can see my my burner app on my Android phone. That it does indeed work to verify Google accounts. At least it still does now. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to go ahead and jump back into just the screencast stuff. So if we come back over here and we click refresh, sometimes it'll say that send you an email saying that your Google account has been verified. So now the Gmail account has been set up, but we're not done yet, because what we want to do now is set up the Google Plus account. But I'll go ahead and shut this video down and start with a new one for just setting up the Google Plus profile and adding like the images and everything else. So I'll see you in the next video.